So it's all to play for still.
I think so. Do you want to bet against us?
Aston Villa fans, and welcome to a Champions League team sheet tantrum for Aston Villa versus Bayern Munich. I am on my own. Paddy is stuck on the road somewhere, I would imagine, at this stage, probably breaking all speed limits trying to get home to watch this game. So I've left him alone and not asked him to pull into any highways or byways or anything like that to try and join us for today. I am, however, joined by my son is here once again, although he's on the baby monitor this time. So in case you hear any noise, it's him on the baby monitor. Just had to try and get him down. So I was nearly late for this today because I wanted to be here when the team was actually announced and not be jumping in when after the team has been announced. And we're just still waiting for a moment. Yeah, nothing here yet. So I'm just gonna set up my screen sharing also. It's really strange. Yeah, cool, excellent. I have to use it different. So you guys may notice that there's we have a team out, but while I'm getting this team up here, you guys may notice that I've had some issues with my sound recently. It's because of the browser I was using Chrome, and I've had to switch to a completely different browser I've never used before, so I have no idea where anything is. But anyway, besides the point, here is the team for today. And it is Emi Martinez in goals, Konza, Carlos, Pau, and Dina, Tielemans, Onana. Philogene starts with Ramsey, Rodgers, and Watkins in there. The bench is made up of Gauchi, Alizic, Nedeljkovic. Matty Cash makes the bench. Ian Matson is there. Elmar Bogard, Caden Young, Sils Finkles, Ross Barkley, Emi Buendia, Leon Bailey, and John Duran. So the bolter here obviously is Philogene, is starting this game today for I don't know, for reasons, I suppose. And I'm genuinely, I'm kind of taken aback by it because I suppose to just be very honest, he wasn't very good when he came on at the weekend. No, and look, I suppose that's harsh on him. That's harsh on him because he's he was played kind of as a right wing back, and maybe that's where we'll see him today. Maybe that's where we'll see him tonight, where Konza pulls in a small bit more, becomes a three at the back, and we've got Dina and we have Philogene as kind of a right wing back in this instance here. I don't know, but look, it's exciting in a lot of ways to see him in there. It just shows the trust that Unai Emery has in him. And look, we can sit here and we can start being, trying to second guess everything here, which we will in some instances, I suppose, when we need to. But until we see this one, I'm it's a bit flabbergasting, I suppose, in some good ways, but also in some ways some unexpected ways as well, to see Jadon Philogene in there. But look, huge night for the young kid, huge night for him. Somebody who obviously has come up through our academy, obviously as we know, left and has come back. Last year he was playing in the Championship and he was lighting it up, come back to Aston Villa, and now he's playing in the Champions League. Aston Villa's first home Champions League game in decades, and he is now starting on that right wing place, in place of Leon Bailey, should I say, for Aston Villa. So stuff dreams are made of for that boy. And hopefully he goes out there and puts in the performance of his lifetime tonight against Bayern Munich. And I am just going to maybe pop up there. I'm going to try and find the Munich team there as well, and we'll take a look at it. I'm expecting Harry Kane to be in there, but as I say, you guys probably know more than I do with regards to what their team is. Yeah, and Harry Kane is in there, so we can see it there. So Neuer, Upamecano, Minje is in there, Kimmich, Gnabry, Kane, Coleman, Olise, Davies, Leimer, and Pavlovic. Yeah, so I would imagine it's going to be Kim and Upamecano in the two centre-half positions, with Kimmich at right back, Alphonso Davies left back, Leimer and Pavlovic in the holding roles, with the three lads at Coleman, Olise, and Gnabry in behind Kane. So that's a very, very formidable lineup there, and maybe that's why Philogene is in there to play as a kind of a right wing back. Now, once again, I know I haven't come to your comments. I can see there's about 46 comments in there, and I'm wondering. I haven't even clicked on it. I can't see them just yet, but I'm willing to guess there's at least 8 to 12 of those 46 comments that are in there that are asking why don't we play Nedeljkovic at right wing back. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm setting the over under at 10 for that at the moment. So when I open those up, and the reality of it is I don't know. The reality of it is I really don't know why we wouldn't do that and why he's playing Philogene. And we might just go at 4 at the back as well as normal and play Philogene at the right wing, and it could just be a like for like substitution for himself and Bailey, which absolutely is within the realms of possibility, more within the realms of possibility than playing that kind of 5 at the back like we did for a short period of time when he came on at the weekend. But their bench there is, Jesus, I'm struggling to read it there off the screen. I'm going to try and read it here. Ulrich, Peretz, Goretzka, Sane, Dyer, Palhinha, Guerrero, Muller, Tells, and Musiala. So just quality dripping off the page there, absolute quality. The fact that they're not starting Musiala and they're starting probably Kingsley Coman in his stead here is massive. Like, they can bring on, I'm sure they will bring on Musiala, Muller and Tells at some stage. Palhinha will probably come on, and they've got Leroy Sané in there if they want to really spice it up top. If Harry Kane isn't going, doesn't get 90 minutes out of tonight, then they will bring on Leroy Sané, Muller, Tells, Musiala probably all together. So it's absolutely dripping with talent, and Aston Villa are going to really, really need to be on top of their game, and they can be on top of the game because they've got a brilliant manager. Like, there is no way to thread the needle of this game without mentioning that Unai Emery is a much more experienced and a much more accomplished manager than Vincent Kompany. And there is no, it's not even up for debate, that question. Now, does that mean that Unai Emery will get the better of Vincent Kompany tonight? It absolutely doesn't. But what it means is that we should be well within the fight here. Tight first 20 minutes, tight first maybe, I suppose, really first half hour. I'm okay without going gung ho, even though we are playing at home in front of our home fans. I'm okay without going gung ho and playing tight for the first half hour. Ease our way into this game. And sorry, there's something opening up there. I don't know what that tab is. Not ease our way into this game, but get structured, feel comfortable, try and find some sort of comfortability within this game. It's going to be difficult to do so, but find a structure, find a positional basis that we can maybe forge some attacks from. Feel out, see if there's any weakness, see if there's any overcommitting in certain areas from Bayern. Like, we've done this before. We've played big teams before. The Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool. All those teams that we've played over the last couple of years under Unai Emery, we've seen this. We've seen the way that he likes to try and feel teams out and park the bus in the early stages of games. So let's see if that happens tonight. I'm okay with a bit of anti-football at the start of this match here, as long as our positioning is right, as long as our spacing is right, as long as our positional discipline is correct, and we're not making silly mistakes, or we don't gift them some silly mistakes. Make sure that if they are going to score a goal, that it's going to be something 20 yards plus, that they're going to have to rattle one into the top corner and beat the world's number one. So that's kind of my thoughts on this, on how I want this game to go. I'm going to come to your comments here now. I'm going to go right back to the very start as Junior says here, as long as we can defend, we have a chance. A draw will do me. And I think, a draw here is absolutely massive for Aston Villa. Huge result. Given the new format of the Champions League, it's a huge result. If you stay unbeaten in the Champions League this year, you most likely will go through. So that's a huge incentive here for Villa. This isn't go out and score 4 goals and win this game and put on the performance of your life. It's put on a disciplined performance today. Look like you deserve to be in Europe, and you can see the greater goal. You can see that there's no medals given out on the 2nd of October. Medals will be given out at the end of the year. And while it's pie in the sky, even for somebody as optimistic as me, to think that we realistically are going to go away and win the Champions League. You can get knocked out of the Champions League before the end of November. Well, you can't really, but you know what I mean. You can be knocked out of the Champions League very, very quickly. But draws against teams where you're expected to potentially lose is huge. So I'll take that all day long. Andrew Monroe says, tough one, but these are the matches you dream of. Looking forward to the lineup up the Villa. I'm going to scroll down here a small bit here as well. Yeah, a lot of people talking about Jadon starting as well. Daniel Delaney says the combination of Carlos sloppiness in the ball and Bayern's high press absolutely terrifies me. There's nothing to say that he won't have been told to put it into Rose Ed today, and maybe that is the case. We'll see. I don't know. Junior says here he's got some faith in Philogene Bides. I think so as well. Yeah, I think so. And look, the Bailey not starting thing isn't. I don't think it's a direct reflection on Leon Bailey. Look, in a way, yes, it is right to say that he hasn't started the season the way that he played last season. You know, he hasn't hit the heights, let's say. It's not that he's been bad or anything, but he just hasn't hit the heights. He hasn't had a go at his way where he can cut in on that left foot and curl one into the top corner. And it could be a situation whereby, you know, he does that once and then next thing things start to open up for him. So maybe we'll see what the future holds for him. But coming off the bench again, remember, Unai Emery has done this before. He's brought him off the bench. He's built up his confidence from that point of view of bringing him off the bench, getting a couple of goals late on in games, coming off the bench like he's doing with John Duran now. And then he started to start him, and he started to influence the game more and more and more when he started him. So maybe that's what the situation is here. Where else are we here? I'm going to scroll down a small bit here. Peter M says, big question, Neil. Are you confident? I think my pause probably says it. I'm not confident, no, because we're playing one of the best teams in Europe. We're actually playing the team that I think are going to win the Champions League this year. Provided that their manager doesn't get in their way at some stage over the course of the year. So no, I'm not confident, but I am confident that Aston Villa can go out and put in a performance. Like put it this way, I don't think Aston Villa are going to try in a 7-1 like Celtic did yesterday. We're way too good a team to do that. No, hey, take this Paddy Power and put it in the fan denial piece, or take this some Bayern Munich English podcast and ridicule it afterwards when we lose 8-1. But you know, I will be confident that we should be putting in a performance where that doesn't happen. So that's, I suppose, where if we were to define confidence, what are my confidence levels? I'm confident that we can go out and be well drilled, well set up, and be tough to break down today. I'm confident that we can be set up like that, because look, realistically speaking, more times than not, we have been under Unai Emery. As in, when I mean not tough to break down, but like we're not pushovers. We're not like we don't get steamrolled that often. That's not to say it can't happen tonight, but I'm certainly not confident I can go and get a win. I wouldn't be confident to go out and get a win against this team if Harry Kane wasn't starting. Because they're a team that deserve respect, you know, from that point of view. And I think they'll go ridiculously far in this competition. And it certainly won't be the players on field that will let them down, I think, over the course of this year. But that's not to say that Vincent Kompany doesn't fulfill his promise as a manager this year as well. Where else are we? Habs incognito tab. Yeah, I can't have pop-ups. The older I'm getting, I just get rageful when I see stuff popping up, and I try to read through articles like certain I just gotta say, when I was trying to read the Birmingham Mail sometimes, and there's like 45,000 adverts you have to get to before you get to the second paragraph of the bloody thing, and that's just the way it is with 95% of things. So pop-up blockers, incognito tabs, everything I can bloody get onto is is what we use here to try and stop those from happening, because they're just so annoying. Noel Connington says, do not concede early. Do not concede early. And I think the third one also says, do not concede early here. Yeah, I think that's exactly what I'm praying for here. Don't concede early. The longer we can keep in this game, the better, the more confident I'll be. And there is such thing as a moral victory for this game today. You know, if we come up with a draw or something like that, I think that there is massive there's massive scope for moral victories in this today, because look, as I say, it's top table European football against arguably probably a top 3 team in Europe, top 5 team in Europe. Maybe I'm overblowing them. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. We'll see today. And yeah, as Sai says there, this game won't define our Champions League season. Absolutely, it won't. But what it will do is it gives us an opportunity, even if we take a point from this game today, to have a massive platform with 4 points as we go into an international break, and then obviously coming back to the Champions League afterwards, where we've got the likes of Bologna to come and Club Brugge, who both won't be easy games as well, but getting a point against Bayern Munich would be brilliant, and getting 3 points would be absolutely excellent. There might be no pants in the podcast afterwards if we get 3 points against them. I will definitely celebrate it. Unfortunately, I can't celebrate it with a drink because I'm on antibiotics at the moment, which is a pain in the absolute neck. But anyway, we move on. Where is it? Where else are we? I'm just going to scroll down a small bit here. Ty Doyle says nobody gives a chance in 82. You're dead right, and there's a lot been spoken about 82 being this rematch of that 82 final as well. Occasions like that do funny things to sporting events. Maybe not so much in the modern game with sports psychology and with the professional nature of the game, and the mental side, the mental preparation that players go through. Sometimes it might take the emotion out of games, but there will be a very emotive feeling today. There would have been a very emotive feeling last night when Monchi stood up in front of the 1982 team, gave them their big speech, the speech they were so richly deserved. It's a pity that two of them aren't there to see it, and Gary Shaw and Eamon Deasy. It's a pity they weren't there, but there will be emotions will be high. It's going to first game back in Villa Park. I know a lot of people are going to this game, and when that Champions music hits, it's going to be one where they're probably going to grab the person closest to them, whoever they go with their dad, their son, or whatever like that, or their better half, give them a big hug and say, "Listen, we did it. We never thought we'd see this in our lifetime." So it's about controlling emotions in an awful lot of ways for us, and it's about blocking out there will be a partisan atmosphere in Villa Park today. I think regardless of what happens, I think there'll be a partisan atmosphere. So Munich will have to block that out, and I'm sure they will, because they're seasoned professionals. But and they're well used to this, used to a partisan atmosphere. Jesus, they go to St. Pauli. At times you can't get more partisan than that, and they've played in big European games. Every single one of those players is like just dripping in experience. But they've never come to Villa Park, and they've never played Unai Emery team in Villa Park. And games like this, as I say, do funny things. Funny things happen. Not all the time, obviously. That's why there's an underdog and there's a massive favourite. Like, I haven't even looked at the betting odds for Villa today. I would be very surprised if Villa weren't at least 4 to 5 to 1 to win this game today. They should be like Bayern Munich should be unbackable in this game today. But as you say, nobody gave us a chance in 1982. And as the great man himself said, "Do you want to bet against us?" I probably would, but I'd be happy if I lost that money. Put it that way. And as Richie Ryan says, no motivation needed for the players tonight. Yeah, I think that's true. I think it is worth mentioning, actually, that word motivation is a really, really important word when we think about tonight, I think, because there's 2 men that won't be playing today. And I'd like them to be in the team. I'd like them to be playing the starting 11 for that very motivation, for their leadership qualities. One who I didn't think had the leadership qualities that he did, and one who I thought we would miss leadership qualities and would be almost irreplaceable. And that's Tyrone Mings and John McGinn. And I'm sure they're going to be in the dressing room beforehand. And I'm sure I can't not see there being a bit of fire and brimstone in that dressing room beforehand to create that motivation. Because two very, very well respected players within that squad, and two players that would have been, if they were fit, I would imagine they would have had to have been shoo-ins to be playing today. I know a lot of people are going to put in, well, who would you drop? Would you drop Pau Torres? No, I wouldn't. I play two left-footed centre halves. It can be done. I don't buy into the left foot, right footed thing. Just don't. I just don't. But that's a debate for another day. But yeah, I think that I think that they will have a big part to play in the build up to this game. And I feel sad for them. I feel sad for the two of them, John McGinn especially. He's not going to be out there tonight, because I think as a leader, as a lead by doing type player, the effort he puts in on the field, the honesty he has in his play, I think that it's those kind of players, it's those kind of moments, the person who busts his gut to get back or to get to a ball that might be going out for a goal kick or whatever. It's just a long pass that's played forward. Might be going out for a goal kick and you're running with your player and you get there first and you kick it off the defender and it goes out for a corner and it was a lost cause completely, and a roar goes up and a shout goes up through or across Villa Park, and then he G's everyone up because he's full of excitement and adrenaline after making that run, and then the corner's there and it's really loud and is a corner we didn't expect to get, and it's crossed in and Amadou Onana sticks it in at the back post. Those moments happen when you've got those real endeavour players there. And I hope somebody steps up to the plate tonight to be that, like what I would term is like that person gets around the field like a blue arse fly. That just gets around there, gets in everyone's face. You just can never get away from that Duracell bunny, that dynamo in the middle of midfield. And somebody needs to take that role tonight. Somebody needs to take that role of being the inspiration by what they're doing on the field. So stand up, someone. Put your hand up. And when Mings went out of the team, I questioned certain people. I didn't think they could do it. Ezri Konsa put his hand up. Very next game, stood up and was absolutely supreme. Brilliant. Marshall that back line. Somebody needs to stand up tonight. If this team is going to go down in memory, it's kind of like you come to Ireland and you go to my hometown in Limerick. First thing, one of the biggest things there is Thomond Park, the Munster or the Rugby History Museum, Munster Rugby, literally there are people who are younger than me that claim they were born and were at the match where Munster beat the All Blacks in that rugby game. Like, it becomes folklore. It becomes folklore when an underdog team goes and does something that's so absolutely unexpected. And to the greater footballing community, it would be really unexpected for Aston Villa to go out and get 3 points tonight. But it's not impossible. It's not impossible. And there are players out there that will be paraded beforehand, that were paraded last night, that go down in folklore because they did something that was thought of as being impossible 41, 42 years ago. So there is a lot of motivation, Richie, and that's why I'm dwelling on this comment. There is a lot of motivation tonight. There's motivation to go down and to be iconic, to have an iconic moment. And they don't come around too often for people in their careers, unless you're part of a serial team that wins. But look, as I say, it's something that if somebody wants to play that to the team later on, it has a bit of an impact. Well, then so be it. I don't know, but it's somebody will stand up today, and I hope somebody does stand up today, and I hope we are counted for what we deserve as a team, because we're a very good footballing team, and I hope we go and show it today, and I hope every single player that's out there gives a good account of themselves. I hate sitting here on post-match pods. I've no problem losing 2-0 and everyone playing really well and they smash 2 in from outside the box and they're two screamers. No problem. None. I want everyone to give a good account. I hate sitting here having to point the finger at players and stuff because there's never a player that goes out, and that's the old cliche, there's never a player that goes out to play a bad game. And I have full faith that every single player that goes out there will have an extra pump in their heart. I don't know if that's medically better or worse for players, but you know what I mean. They'll have that little extra bit, that little extra half a yard today, and give the fans what they really, really want, because there is that brass ring of folklore out there, you know. Anyway, want to pop in your score lines, your score predictions, guys. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. Optimistic, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw for today. But if you guys want to start popping in your predictions there as well. A couple of people talking about the referee today. Yeah, Romanian referee. I saw Stato had stuff up on him. Jesus, I can't find it now. I think he's given out 26 yellows and 1 red over the course of the year this year so far. Not a novice referee anyway by any means. Has refereed in the Champions League, I think, from memory as well. So look, get him on side. Let's hope he's a home team referee and he referees that way. Maybe Bayern went and gave Stoya an absolute hammering one time and he holds a grudge against them. Or Cluj, or another one of those Romanian teams. Maybe something like that happened. Maybe he's got a bad case against the Bayern for that, and he does us a lot of favors. Who knows? I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of not interested in the referee tonight, because that's something that you can only, like, you can't legislate for somebody just based on their past performances and what I mean by that is in a game of this magnitude. You know, we're playing at home. Everything is set up for us here. You know, if we are going to do something, go do it at home in front of your own fans, and we'll worry about the referee afterwards. And we'll criticize him afterwards if he's brutal and he's shite. We will criticize him, but we'll leave that until afterwards. We'll leave that until afterwards for sure, if we need to. Are those scores coming in? I can't see. My comments stopped working. Please don't tell me my comments have stopped working. Give me a second there. Why isn't anything moving? Let's see if I can try and reload something here. I don't know. There they are. All started moving together again there. Okay, so Junior is going for a 1-1. Let me take down my nameplate there. You all know who I am at this stage. Junior is going for a 1-1. Paul McAllister is going for 2-2. Tom is going for 2-1. Ty is going for 2-2. Sai is going for 1-1 or a 3-1 for Bayern. 2-2 says Dermot. 3-2 says Big Matthew. 3-2 to Villa says Jordan. 2-2 says David Dwyer. 12-0 Villa says PS. Captain Nuggets going 2-1 Villa. We need some luck, but 2-2. Going for 2-2 draw says Richie. Dan Downey says 3-1 to Villa, but his realistic head says 3-1 the other way around. 3-2 Joran. Last minute winner says Sport Daily Media Network. C Lion I says 2-2 with a last minute equalizer for us. Jordan Levy says 2-1. 4-1 says Robert K. 1-0 says Pete Tandy. 2-1 says Bernard. Ozgerm says 3-1. 1-0 to the Villa says Lubrius Ed. 2-2 or 2-1 to the 85th minute and Duran equalizer to make it 2-2 says British Mick. Brendan Miller says 2-1. 3-1 Villa says David Miller. Rich Edwards says 2-1 Villa win. 4-2 says Bear in the Garden. Techno Obliterator says 1-0. Cat Can. I think that might be the first time I've actually said that right on with just one take on Techno Obliterator there. But Cat Cannon says 1-0. Where are we? 2-1 says Seamus. Dickie's going for a 2-0 win. That'd be absolutely amazing. A comfortable 2-0 win would be 2-0 win would be something nobody would have predicted yesterday or the week before or whatever. Michael Smith's going with a 2-1 win. 0-0 stalemate says Kadu. 2-1 says Ollie. Dylan says 2-0. Gary says 2-2 as well. John Morgan says 2-2, and Paul Jenkins says 3-2, and Tom says a win takes us to 4th in the table. Yep. Like this table will condense an awful lot. Teams will go well ahead, and teams will condense at the bottom as well. And teams will lose heavily in this tournament. So what is it? We've just finished in the top 16, ideally in the top 8. We see where we go from there. Yeah. So look, I think it's one of those ones, guys, whereby we're a bit blindsided by the team. A bit blindsided by Jaden Philogene starting. More power to the boy. I hope he goes out there. As I said, there's your folklore moment. Go out there and grab your brass ring and make sure that you stay in the team for the rest of the year. And for everybody else in the team, go out there and give that 100. Well, you can't give 110%. I hate that phrase. So you go out there and give that 100%. Make sure that you are that you give a good account to yourselves, and we'll see everybody back here after. Excuse me, I've dusted the hiccups now on top of everything else. We'll see everybody here after the game finishes, right in the final whistle to discuss it, whether it's good, whether it's bad, or whether it's ugly. We will be back and we will chat about it. But it's a huge night for Aston Villa Football Club. Back at the top table, reading from the menu and ordering the steak and caviar. And that's what I hope we get from the kitchen tonight, is the steak and caviar. And until after the game, everybody, I do need to run away here. But I will catch you again after the game at roughly around 5 minutes to 10. And hopefully we're celebrating a really, really good Aston Villa win. Sorry for the abrupt finish, but I do need to go. Everybody go in, enjoy your afternoon, get whatever you need, set up, sit down, watch this. Aston Villa are Champions League, our Champions League team again, and we're playing at home. This atmosphere is going to blow the speakers on your TV if you're watching from home. And if you're lucky enough to be in the ground, roar your lungs up. Well, not up, but out, and shout this team on to victory. Be the 12th man on the field, and I'll see you all here afterwards. Stay safe, stay healthy, and all that's left to say is up the Villa.